You are 41 years old. You live in Rockford, Illinois. You drive a forklift on second shift at a paper products warehouse on Harrison Avenue, and you make $47,000 a year before taxes. After the rent, the child support, and a 2009 Honda Odyssey with 214,000 miles on it and a sliding door that has not opened since 2019, you have about $260 left at the end of every month. You have eaten lunch in the same truck, in the same corner of the same lot, with the same man for 11 years. His name's Dale. You know his wife's chemotherapy schedule by heart. He has never been inside your house. You buy one ticket a week at the Shell on Harrison. Not the same numbers. You do not have numbers. You let the machine pick them, because picking your own would mean admitting you have thought about it. You check it on your phone in the break room at 2:40 in the morning. The vending machine is humming. Somebody has left half a sandwich on the table. You count the zeros. Then you count them again. Then you put the phone face down on the table and sit with your hands flat on your knees and count them a third time. $41 million.
Your shift ends at 6. You clock out at 6. You drive home. You sleep 4 hours. And the next morning, you come back. Level 1. The shift. You clock in at 5:52, the way you have clocked in for 19 years. Aisle 6, pallets of copy paper, 41 skids to move before the trucks come at 9. Dale finds you by the charging station. You look like somebody died, he says. Didn't sleep, you say. And that is the first one. It is so small you barely feel it leave your mouth. 4 hours ago, you were a man with $260 a month. Now, you are a man with a secret. And the secret weighs nothing at all. Level 2. The trust. On your day off, you drive 90 miles to Chicago to see a lawyer named Ellen Marsh, because you looked up what happens to lottery winners in this state, and the state publishes the name and the city of anyone who wins more than $600,000. She explains it in 11 minutes. A trust can claim the prize. The trust files with the lottery. Your name goes on nothing anybody can pull up. 41 million as an annuity. 17.4 million if you take it now and let the government take its half. Her fee is $60,000, and you say yes before she finishes the sentence. Then she says the thing you will think about every day for the next year. Anonymous is not the same as secret, she says. Anonymous only means they have to work for it. That is the entire difference. Level 3. The deposit. The money lands in the trust account on a Tuesday. You look at it on your phone in the parking lot, and then you go inside and move 40 skids. On Friday, you transfer $9,000 into your own account because you read that $10,000 triggers a report and $9,000 does not. Marcy has worked the counter at your branch for 6 years. She has watched you deposit the same paycheck twice a month since her first week. Big week, she says. Sold a truck, you say. You do not own a truck. You have never owned a truck. It comes out of you smooth and finished, like something you had been carrying around, ready. Level 4. The raise. In March, you have your annual review. Tom Miller takes you into the glass office off the floor and closes the door, which he does for good news and bad news equally, and slides a paper across the desk. $1.10 an hour. $2,288 a year. I fought for that one, he says. Don't tell the other guys. And here is what you learn about yourself in that room. You can do it. You put your hand flat on the paper. You say thank you. Then you say it again, a little differently, because the first one did not sound like enough. You are $17 million richer than the man across the desk, and you are performing gratitude for 2,288, and you are good at it. That is the part you do not tell anybody. You are good at it. Level 5. The truck. In June, Dale does not eat. Sharon's insurance denied the second round. They call it experimental, he says. It has been standard since 2011, but it is experimental when they decide it is. $14,000. Out of pocket. Before the end of August. You have $17.4 million. He is not looking at you. He is looking at the fence at the edge of the lot. I'm not asking you for anything, he says. I just needed to say it out loud to somebody. And you're the somebody. I'm sorry, you say. And that is all you say. Not that day. Not in July. Not in August. Level 6. The filing. A trust is a legal entity, and a legal entity has to have a name, and Ellen Marsh told you to choose a word that means nothing. A colour. A street you have never lived on. You named it after your mother. 11 months later, a reporter named Janet Cole is going through claim filings at the lottery office, because she does this every quarter and it is usually nothing. She finds a trust with a family name on it. There are 4 families with that name in Rockford, and 3 of them do not have a man who won anything. She calls Ellen Marsh on a Thursday. I told you to pick a word that means nothing, Ellen says. But it did not mean nothing. That was the whole problem. Out of all of it, you needed one thing in there that was actually yours. Level 7. The floor. The story runs on a Tuesday morning. Local man, trust, 41 million. There is no photograph of you anywhere, so they use a picture of the shell on Harrison. You are on aisle 6 when the phones start. You hear it come across the floor, the way you hear a forklift alarm come across the floor. Far away, and then very close. At lunch, you go out to the truck because you do not know where else to go, and Dale is already sitting in it. He has his phone in his hand, face up on his knee. $14,000, he says. Then nothing for a long time. I wasn't asking, he says. I know, you say. That's what I can't get past, he says. You didn't even have to say no. You just let me sit here and say it. Level 8. What it cost. You are 44 now. 3 years and 2 months. You paid Sharon's $14,000. You paid it through Ellen Marsh in September with no name on it, and Dale knew inside of a week because there was only one person it could have been. Sharon is fine. Sharon has been fine for 2 years. You do not work at the warehouse anymore. You could not tell anybody whether you left or whether it became impossible to stay. It happened over about 5 months, and every week of it felt like a decision somebody else was making. You have $16.1 million. You gave your son $800,000 of it. He is careful with it, and he calls you on Sundays, and he's the one good thing you did with any of it. You still drive past the lot sometimes. Dale's truck is in the same corner, backed into the same spot. You have never once pulled in. You have eaten lunch alone for 3 years. The architecture of wealth is that it is not kept in accounts. It is kept in all the things you decide not to say. And every one of them is small and reasonable, and costs you nothing at the moment you decide it. You never pay for them one at a time. You pay for all of them at once, on a Tuesday, in a truck, in the corner of a parking lot.
Subscribe if you want to know what comes next.